Well, today marks 5 years since Breonna Taylor was killed in Louisville, Kentucky. The 26-year-old emergency technician was in her apartment when police serving a no-knock warrant entered. Her boyfriend fired a shot thinking they were intruders. The officers returned fire and they killed Breonna Taylor. Last year, a federal judge ruled her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, caused her death because he shot at the police first. The judge then dismissed the felony charges against the two officers involved in that case. But one officer was convicted. Brett Hankinson is awaiting sentencing after a federal jury ruled he used excessive force when he violated Breonna Taylor's civil rights. We should note, federal prosecutors say Hankinson did not fire the shot that killed Taylor. Let's bring in CBS News law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison is a former Suffolk County, New York Police Commissioner and former NYPD Chief of Department, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing several times in the past. All right, Chief, let me ask you about this ordeal. It happened, the shooting did, at the beginning of COVID, and in fact, it took some time for it to get national attention. What did that mean for the investigation?
Yeah, so good morning. And, a lot of things got pushed back due to COVID, criminal investigations, internal investigations. So anytime you have a situation where the world shuts down, there's going to be setbacks in things that need to be prioritized and looked into. So due to the fact of COVID, I'm sure that the investigators that were doing the internal investigation were unable to get down to a lot of potential mistakes that might have happened during the search and the seizure.
So can you help our audience understand, and I understand hindsight is 2020, but looking back at the events that transpired on that night, what were those mistakes and what could have been done differently?
So it's hard to tell exactly every single mistake. The one thing that we've done in the NYPD, and I put it in place during my time frame in Suffolk County, is what's the executive oversight? Who's the individual who's going to make sure that there is a checklist of investigative steps that are done prior to conducting a no-knock search warrant. I don't know if the Louisville Police Department has an executive. One of the things that I've seen throughout the country is sometimes you have to get that approval from a frontline supervisor. I think that's a recipe for concerns and potential situations like this occurring too often, where the wrong door is hit. But you need to have some type of safeguards in place and have somebody that has that investigative background and knowledge overseeing the appropriate steps when it comes to performing a no-knock search warrant.
So, as you know, here in New York City, there have been multiple instances where police-involved shootings or police-involved tragedies have changed the way law enforcement works in this city. And that's why New York and the NYPD are some of the best in the country, if not the best in the world, although there are always issues that need to be confronted. I want your take on these no-knock warrants and what has changed and how they're executed since Breonna Taylor's killing.
Yeah, so of course you have to take in an evaluation, what's behind the door, who is the subject, and should the search warrant that you're looking to perform be precluded. Perfect example is you have to identify if there are any children that reside at a location, any elderly, anybody that has a health condition. And if that is the case, do you find a different way to get inside that location? Vlad, let's take a look at what's going on in this country. We are under siege due to the fact that a lot of deadly drugs are entering our country. These no-knock search warrants are necessary, but depending on the circumstances, be it exigent or not, should dictate certain things that should be put in place regarding going forward with conducting that search warrant. I've seen an adjustment in a lot of different police departments putting things in place to make sure that, hey, should there be an announcement or should be a situation where a violent criminal is behind that door and that announcement may not necessarily be the safest way of going forward.
It's a discussion that I believe that a lot of communities, a lot of municipalities and cities are going to continue to have in the wake of Breonna Taylor's killing. Rodney Harrison, thank you, Chief, as always. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.